What up, y'all? Madden 26 has just dropped its reveal trailer. We're going to react to it as well as the Gridiron Notes they dropped as well. Can't wait to dig in and try this. Let's go ahead and see what they got in this reveal trailer. Oh boy. You love seeing this, man. You gotta wonder if they were inspired a little bit by College Football 25, and if like how College Football got the lead outs, we're gonna get that in Madden as well with the online head-to-heads, which I hope they do. Looks clean though. Once again, I know these are the standard hype videos, but it's always great to see a game looking clean at this stage. Ooh, Gentry, let's go. Dan the man. Nah. That's gotta be a signature. Ooh. Okay, slipping in the rain, okay. Woo. They're showing off the weather, so it's gotta be a big deal this year. Get it? You know we're gonna see the turtle or the backwards hurdle. There it is. I was like, yep. I guess they're definitely trying to make like the stadium feel and the presentation be a big thing this year. And mascots, I don't think we were seeing many mascots. Hey. That boy Travis Hunter. Okay. So I have a link to the trailer below, but off the rip, it looks phenomenal. It looks great. Presentation looks really good. Graphics pop out. It's really hard to improve the graphics every year, but it looks like this one, it came to play. Now, from what I got that trailer, the big thing that I'm taking away is weather. Weather is supposed to mean something this year. They introduced weather in online head-to-head last year, but it was really aesthetic. There was no slipping, there was no falling. So hopefully by them showing the weather in this case, they're trying to say like when you play on Madden, whether it's online or offline, weather is going to be a factor. We saw a couple of different throw animations, a couple of different movement stuff, and things of that nature. All looks really cool. But once again, with it being a trailer, you know it's going to show you all the good stuff. We really want to see the meat and bones. And we don't have a gameplay deep dive blog, but they did give us a little something. It's a quick little blog, just kind of what you can expect. We're going to go ahead and take a look at it, dissect it. I'm going to give you my thoughts on it, and we're going to go from there. So let's continue. All right, so I'll have a link to this in my video below. But basically starts off welcoming, saying, hey, Madden 26 is here. Now, I'm not going to read all this, but we're going to go into this right here, gameplay. All right, when we talk about gameplay from Madden NFL 26, we're talking about real-world NFL data, seeing the tendencies and traits of the league superstars, experiencing real football weather on the virtual gridiron, strategizing around the real action of the football, and real community feedback coming through each snap, truly making every game you play feel different. We can't share everything today, but we're going to roll through some of our favorite gameplay features right now. Our Madden NFL 26 gameplay deep dive is on the horizon, which we'll be there to cover, and we can't wait to show you what we've been cooking. First, starting off with QB DNA. The quarterback is the most iconic position in all sports. Reflect that Madden NFL 26 has completely reimagined quarterback mechanics, from animations to behaviors with our QB DNA. Not only are you watching Josh Allen's rocket arm fire up a deep pass to mid-jump, you're doing that when you're playing as Josh Allen too. More than 500 new quarterback animations were added in Madden NFL 26, which is great. 500 animations, throwing, that's amazing. Love to see how that's going to come into play. Hopefully it's stuff you see, because we always hear that they add new animation for quarterbacks. We don't really see it. I remember when they had the infamous, I think it was 25 or 24, they had Mahomes kind of doing this crazy pass that was like blowing up online, like, oh my God, he could do that, it's going to be so cheap. Hopefully it won't be a thing. So we'll see. We'll see. I remember they made a big deal of it and we never saw it. So, all right. QB signatures of Madden 26 are a visual representation of everything, replication of everything from how each quarterback holds the football in the pocket to their arm slot when slinging down the field. We have overhauled our player trait system with 50 new player traits across numerous positions. all backed by real-world NFL tendency data. Is your quarterback in real life throw more often to the right side of the field? Joe Burrow, for example, will more than likely to set his feet before throwing than other quarterbacks. Josh Allen, as fearless as he is in real life, will be trucking defenders if he takes a chance to scramble for a first down instead. But he's saying that they're now going to have these tendencies built in. So if you're Joe Burrow and you're running to the right or so, he's going to take time to actually set you before he throws the ball. It's not going to be an automatic just throw it out, which is great. You know, if you're playing as these quarterbacks, playing as these teams, you want to replicate how they look in real life. And that makes people stand out more. You know, I always value Joe Burrow that he has the accuracy to make and put the ball anywhere. So if I see that he's actually taking time to set his feet and I have to like do it myself, that's another cool thing that kind of adds to the immersion, makes you feel like you really are Joe Burrow. Whether it's Lamar Jackson getting shifted to avoid hits or Matt Stafford dropping his arm to finesse a screen pass, pocket presence, scrambling tendencies, and pass styles reflect the unique traits of today's stars of tomorrow's legends. So if they're saying, once again, if quarterbacks play more like each other, that's amazing. Because if you play Madden right now and you use any quarterback, outside of like the obvious speed difference and arm strength, there's not much really giving you that separation. I can't say when I play like as Lamar Jackson, I feel like Lamar. I can say I'm playing someone who's fast, who can juke, but I don't necessarily feel like I'm Lamar. So if they're saying they're actually making that be more of a thing where you can actually take those players and feel more like them, all for it, thumbs up. Once again, we'll see how it is on the field. Coach DNA. Introducing Coach DNA, a groundbreaking feature that brings the personalities and tendencies of NFL head coaches to Madden NFL 26. Powered by machine learning stemming from years of real-world data, Coach DNA mirrors the unique styles and philosophies of NFL coaches. 4th and 3, you better be ready for Dan Campbell and the Lions to try getting a first down. Pass successfully on the Vikings, expect some creative blitzes from their unpredictable defense. This data-driven play calling brings real-life head coach tendencies to the virtual gridiron. This is more for playing against the computer. When you're going against another human, they're doing their own calls. But once again, if this kind of holds up to it, it seems dope. I feel like we always hear every year, like, oh, the computer's going to be adjusting to you and play different and all that. So a little bit of stuff they have to prove with that, because I feel like that's something they say every year. I mean, these screenshots look dope, but like, how's that actually going to play on the field? A second piece of Coach DNA is an overhaul of coach suggestions that also contains what we call Coach Speed. If you're playing as the Lions, Dan Campbell will offer various suggestions depending on the down distance, true to Detroit Lions tendencies and mirror the way Campbell talks. On top of that, we have a real-time coaching AI where the computer teams will make pre-snap adjustments to adjust play calls that specifically counter your opponent's tactics. Driving Coach John Madden's vision further for teaching XOs at the forefront of Coach DNA. So what I get from here is that now when they do coach suggestions, it's going to be backed by what the team will do in real life. I think before coach suggestions is always like they're going to pick the best play for the situation. Now they're saying we're going to now put this into, like, if you're using the Lions, here's what they will call in the situation. And we're going to have Dan Campbell kind of give his insight on it. Which, once again, if that's the case, cool. I don't feel like for most people who play Madden, they don't really use coach suggestions. If you do use coach suggestions though, now you're kind of having it backed by DNA. So it might be something to think about. Like, I know for me, if I'm going for 2 and I don't really have a play, I'll sometimes look at coach suggestions. If you're going to tell me now I'm going to get like an actual, like, here's the down, here's the distance situation, here's what we're going to go to. So if I deal with that, then that could be interesting. We'll see how it plays out. I see a lot of this more so focusing on when you're not playing online, but you never know. We received a ton of positive feedback on our playbooks from the previous year, and we're happy to announce that we have nearly 1,000 new plays at the launch of Madden NFL 26. Our playbooks contain the current trend of motion and shift-based offenses we see from teams like San Francisco and Miami. For our defensive playbooks, you'll find exotic blitz pressures, defensive disguises, and all new struts and twists to lock down your opponent. So let's go back and digest that. First of all, the playbooks last year were amazing. They did a great job of getting new plays. Never felt like it was super overpowered. I mean, a lot of people don't like the shift plays and the motion plays, which, once again, I hear you, but I feel like if you were looking for it, if Cohen kept doing it for a while, you kind of knew how to stop it. But we're going to see more of that. It's not going to go away. You're getting 1,000 new plays, so that's a lot. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. Are we going to finally get the tush push? We'll see. Now, it says here that for defensive playbooks, you're going to find exotic blitz pressures, which is great. More defensive blitzes. I love it. A lot of people just gravitated towards pinch bucko, mid blitz. Like, there's other blitzes out there. Use them, but we'll let that be what it is. Defensive disguises, which is great. That means you're going to let disguise our pressure more, which is amazing. I think right now you can go from like cover 0 to all the way to cover 6. If they give you more ways to disguise it, that's great. Disguising coverages to me was one of the top 10 things they added, and it might be like top 3. Like, that's an amazing feature. It can get you in trouble, but if you know how to use it, you can really cause some havoc. All new stunts and twists to lock down your opponent. So EA College Football 26 is going to have stunts and twists. Madden just confirmed they're going to have stunts and twists. This is amazing. As someone that loves pass rush, loves putting pressure on the quarterback, if you're now telling me that we're going to have new ways to get to them rather than just running straight at them, I'm all for it. I think stunts and twists need to be put into the game. We had it before in other, not Madden games, but other football games, so I'm glad that EA's taking the time to actually dive in and look into it. Once again, my whole thing is, if I have a dominant pass rusher, like a TJ Watt, a Myles Garrett, I need them to have ways to get off and break the quarterback. The way it is in Madden, they'll get off at times, but I really want to feel like if I'm going against one of those dudes, that they're going to be constantly in my backfield. And if these stunts and twists help replicate that, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. All right, let's move on. Wear and tear and new depth chart positions. Modernized roster management adds strategic depth with the wear and tear system and dynamic substitutions. Wear and tear affects player performance, while dynamic substitution allows seamless situational swaps without pausing gameplay. So let's bring this back. Wear and tear. EA College Football 25 had it. Looks like it's coming to Madden NFL 26. Once again, love this, love this, love this. I like the idea of wear and tear. Here's why I like it. You don't want injuries online? Okay, cool, whatever. If you are abusing a player, you're putting them over the middle of the field, they're taking shots, they're taking hits, let them wear down. Let them not be as good as they were. Oh, I just took a big old shot across the middle of the field, my catch is gonna drop, my leg speed's gonna drop. This needs to be done because, and once again, I don't want to say in real life because once again, I know how it is, it's a video game. But if you're constantly going to someone, they have to show that there is something going on. And if you're not gonna give us a proper fatigue system, give us the wear and tear where it's like, okay, you keep passing that dude, his catch is going down, his speed is going down. Oh, you're letting your quarterback get tackled all the time, his arm strength is going down. Like, let us have those consequences. And it looks like they're bringing them in. Now, in college football, it definitely was, I don't want to say it was OD, but it was definitely noticeable. Like, you can tell if your quarterback is banged up because their arm strength went down, the ball was kind of fluttering out sometimes. So I'm really interested to see how Madden does it. The substitutions, which are great. Here's how it's going to work. When you're on the field, rather than having to go through your formation playbook and make substitutions, you can just make them on the field. So it's going to have like your starters and your backup, and basically you just go and swap on the field who you want to come in to replace them. And what's going to happen is the next time you come out in that play, they'll be on the field. All right. Now, to my opinion, it really just makes it so that you can have your subs on the field and not have to worry about it just being occurring when you're off the field. I don't know if it's going to change things tremendously, but it's a nice quality of life feature that's going to make you go like, all right, well, I forgot to do it in the menu, but now I'll just do it now. So next time I come out, they'll automatically be on the field for me. So, how to request a new depth chart positions, modernized NFL 26 featuring edge, nose tackle, long snapper, and versatile gadget position. This upcoming NFL season could see a dynamic, consistent two-way player in Travis Hunter, and Madden NFL 26 is ready. Hunter will have abilities that counteract some of the wear and tear of playing both ways, meaning you can't just throw any receiver at cornerback and expect the same result, which is great. A lot of people have been wanting to update the depth chart because, Madden for the longest time just had like left outside linebacker, right outside linebacker, middle linebacker. And really in the NFL, there's so many different ways that you can have a linebacker, because some of the left outside linebackers or outside linebackers, they're purely rushers. They're not really linebackers. So I'm glad they're updating it. Glad we're seeing nose tackle and long snapper. Gadget position is dope too. Obviously Travis Hunter is going to be like an interesting thing to track and see, but it looks like they're letting you know up front, like, hey, just because Travis Hunter's in the game, I mean, you could just toss anybody out there so that they can play. So great to hear. Football weather. NFL teams face the dual challenge of battling each other on the field while contending with various harsh weather conditions through the season, and we have brought that to life with football weather in Madden NFL 26. We have completely overhauled not just the visuals, but also the effects of weather conditions. Heavy snow, fog, rain, and everything in between will affect movement, visibility, stamina, and ball control. If you're playing an NFL snowball, you'll notice players slipping or moving as clunky as they would in a real-life blizzard. Physics from how players move to how the ball carriers will be adjusted to mimic weather conditions. Think again about chip shot field goals in heavy weather. This is amazing. Like I said, they had weather in Madden NFL 25, but it was really an aesthetic thing. It didn't really change the gameplay. Now, if you're telling me that weather is going to be in here, which I assume if they're talking about it like this, that it is going to be pretty big, that you're going to see the effects of it. So, like that, love it, love it, love it. Hopefully we see it come into online play. I'm assuming it is because of how big they're talking about it, but it's, not every NFL game is played in perfect weather. Sometimes you do have to play in, unideal conditions and let it play out like that. Like, hey, you don't like people slipping and falling and all that? Play in a sunny game. If you're in a weather game, I want to see that. Like, it makes it more important. It makes it more memorable. We also added finer details, making the elements a part of home field where cold weather teams will not get impacted when playing in cold weather in the cold and wet as warm weather teams. But to balance it, when playing extreme heat, those cold weather teams will tire off faster, which is a little detail with a big game that comes straight for NFL players. So once again, this is good. They're telling you like, hey, if you're used to cold weather, you in a cold weather game, you're able to have a better, you're able to kind of last in that better. But if you're a cold weather team, you're playing an extremely hot game, like you're down in Miami, the sun's out, you're going to have a little fatigue due to that extreme heat. I like this. Once again, I know people hate like having realism in Madden, but I think you gotta, if you're the NFL simulation, you gotta have a little stuff sink in and be okay with it. Like, play through some adversity, man. Play. All right, foundational football. Football fundamentals are not optional, they're essential to it, so we're doubling down on core football principles to give players more depth and control. Explosive locomotion, run and pass blocking, defensive zone coverage and physics, and new mechanics are at the forefront of improvements as we've heard your feedback. When we say explosive NFL gameplay, here's what it means to us. Simply that the left stick feeling has never felt better in Madden. It's not just fast players or fast DN. Our explosive locomotion differentiates the north to south speed of athletes like Tyreek Hill versus the wiggly east to west players like Jahmyr Gibbs. With explosive locomotion, a player who runs a 4.2 40-yard dash will feel like a player who runs a 4.2 40-yard dash. You want our players to feel the visual difference between fast and explosive in Madden NFL 26. So not much to really go off there. They're basically saying that if someone's fast, you're going to feel that speed immediately when you're with them. Madden can always do a better job with that. I think, right, for us, we know someone's fast because when we try to chase after them and they accelerate, we can't catch them. But if you're telling me now when I get the ball, I'm going to feel like that dynamicness, then I'm okay with that. I feel like they've been saying stuff like that. But once again, we won't really know until we get our hands in the game and kind of feel it from that end. But if you're telling me like, hey, players that are explosive are going to feel explosive, they're going to feel like how they should be feeling, you never say that's wrong. Custom defensive zones let you game plan and adjust like a real NFL coordinator. With custom defensive zones, you'll be able to set the depth of your zone defenders at the line of scrimmage to take away that pesky corner route from your opponent. So this is important. They're basically saying you can now set zone drives on the field, which is great. I love zone drives. I don't use them as much as I should, but I've been using them a little bit more. And I think one thing that kind of sucks with them is like, if you don't remember to do it before the play, you're kind of screwed. Now that you're able to do it on the field, which is what I believe this is alluding to, that gives you more of a reason to use it. And I kind of feel like, much like the substitutions, is more of like a way to put it in someone's face to say like, hey, we have it here, use it. Because I feel like most people, if you didn't know zone drops was a thing, you probably had no idea you could set your zones. So now you're kind of having this in your face so that you know, oh, I can set this on a field. Because I mean, once again, for people who play Madden a lot, those type of things, we're used to it, you don't have to tell us about it. There's a lot of people who play Madden who do not know about all those tools because Madden has a crazy learning curve. So now that you're putting the forefront like substitutions and zone drops on the field, it should encourage people to learn more about it and hopefully use it more. So once again, good quality of life feature in my opinion. Do you want your safeties to align to a certain hash, the passing string for elsewhere? AI logic, custom zones, and more deliver an overhaul to defensive strategy in Madden NFL 26. So I'm not sure how this is going to work. Obviously, we can tell our safety to align to a hash, put the pass string somewhere else. Simply, you have more options you can do when coming out of line-out, which is going to be great. I have to see it. The AI logic with custom zones and more deliver overhaul. I'm assuming they mean like on the AI side, the computer's going to be doing their own zone drops and such to kind of combat you, which if it holds up, hope is good. We can't wait to share much. We can't wait to share more, including how we've leveled up the trenches with our foundational football features. Be on the lookout for our upcoming gameplay deep dive. Madden NFL 26 doesn't just treat mechanics, we made a commitment to the soul of football, the fundamentals, which a lot of people argue if Madden can get the fundamentals right and then work on other things if they get that nailed down, that would make the game a pretty top tier experience. So I'm interested to see how that goes. All right, here they're talking about franchise mode. I'm not going to read too much into it because I'm not really a big franchise guy. If you are a franchise guy, like I said, I'm going to include the link to this below so you can kind of read up on it. But it sounds like they are aware of some franchise stuff and they are making some changes. Presentations, it looks like NFL Atmosphere comes to life with revamp authenticity in Madden NFL 26, experience with team-specific runs out, crowd chants, mascots, and pre-game traditions such as the Minnesota Skull Chant or Baltimore's Light Show. I do wonder if they're going to be like EA Football College 25 and actually have them before online head-to-head games, so we'll see. Let's talk head coaches. More gear means more authentic looking coaches. Dan Campbell is going to have that signature Dan Campbell look in the sidelines, complete with his t-shirt or rolled up long sleeve. In terms of the uniforms, the team added more alternate classifications from Nike, including the Texas redesign, stadium edge walls, the field arts are being aligned with specific uniforms, Bengals rocking a whiteout, Buccaneers in the creamsicle, the field logos will match those uniforms. Another stadium detail we added, in venue prompt graphic packages from the team's real life Jumbotrons will be in the game. Oh wow, that's cool. It's on the details, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. We can't wait to share more with you the franchise and presentation deep dive. Okay. And now they're talking about Superstar Mode. We're going to play Superstar Mode, so we won't talk much about this one. Let's see. Ultimate Team. Once again, don't play a lot of Ultimate Teams, so we won't talk much about that one. And then, of course, the Predator bundle stuff. So, once again, a little bit of a teaser. I am hyped. I'm excited. To me, the addition of wear and tear from College Football 25, stunts and twists being there on the D-line, and the whole idea that you're able to set your zone drops and other things on the field now has me intrigued. I'd imagine if you're doing stuff on the field, they got to give you a little more time between the audibles. Otherwise, you got to be super quick with things, which I feel like it's going to be hard to do. But I'm intrigued. I'm hyped. I'm looking forward to this. I really feel like we have something here now. A lot of people don't like Madden 25. I enjoyed my Madden 25 experience, and it sounds like what they're doing is they're basically taking all that feedback and really trying to push out something that everyone's going to enjoy. I always tell people, say what you want about EA. Whenever their back's against the wall and the previous year doesn't do well, they always come hard next year. Like, I really feel like Madden NFL 26 is going to be a really great game. So, that being said, let me know in the comments below what you're excited for, what you're looking forward to when it comes to Madden NFL 26. As the news drop, we'll be covering it on this channel, definitely covering all the gameplay and things of that nature. But I appreciate y'all giving me some time. If you haven't done so already, make sure that like button. If you like what you see here, make sure to subscribe. As always, folks, have a great rest of your day. Keep on rocking on. Until next time, keep a vision for life. Peace.